New Bray Wyatt theories are once again popping up, so we'll see what's new with him. We'll also check out what's the latest with Dominik Mysterio, Bianca Belair, and more. Let's start things off with the heel-turning comments from Bianca Belair. So Bianca Belair has become one of WWE's biggest superstars in recent years. Bianca was strictly a WWE Performance Center project. She had no prior independent wrestling scene experience at all. WWE just loved the potential that they saw with her athletic ability, and the rest was history. She trained at the Performance Center for several years, and they made a star out of her. She had a good run in NXT, and when she eventually made it to the main roster in 2020, she just absolutely took off into superstardom. Just nearly a year after her main roster debut, she was main eventing WrestleMania and defeating Sasha Banks for the Smackdown Women's title. Then the follow-up at WrestleMania 38, where she defeated Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's title. So she has had nothing but great success, and it's one of the great starts to a career that WWE has seen in a very long time. Only 2 years on the main roster, and her career stat sheet is getting pretty loaded up. But the only thing Bianca Belair hasn't done in her WWE main roster career quite yet is play the role of the antagonist, a heel character. Bianca Belair has been a babyface for her entire main roster run up until this point. So fans were wondering about a heel version of Bianca's character and what it could be like. Bianca was recently asked about the possibility of turning heel during a recent interview with WrestleRant and had this to say about the topic. Quote, "I don't know, I feel like I have so many, like a positive impact. And walking out and seeing the signs and seeing the kids, people coming up to me saying, 'You inspire me.' To have that connection with people and to think about maybe possibly turning on people is like me turning on them, End quote. So Bianca's point is a fair point to make. It's like what was going on with Bayley's original babyface character. It was just this full-blown babyface character. All the young fans were dressing up as Bayley and getting behind her all the way. But when Bayley's character turned heel, she obviously turned her back on all those young fans. So it looks like that's a big part of Bianca's dilemma. She's met so many young fans that truly look up to her for inspiration. And if she turns heel, it'll basically be like slapping those fans across the face. So that part is true, but like we've seen from everyone, even for a character like babyface Bayley, everyone evolves at one point into a new character and a new era. So maybe when the time is right, maybe we will see that arc of Bianca Belair turning her back on the fans and taking on a slightly new character. One of the most recent segments from Bray Wyatt's story has a lot of fans bringing up the Fiend. So Bray Wyatt finally snapped and was unable to control his emotions, which led to him attacking the WWE cameraman for no reason. The move that Bray Wyatt used on the cameraman was the Claw, which of course was a signature move used by The Fiend. The Fiend has always had his hurt and heel gloves on, and always went for the Claw during his early attacks on his opponents. So everyone seeing Bray Wyatt start to crack and use the Claw again has everyone wondering if it's possible to see The Fiend make his return. Some fans really think that could happen, but just telling by some of the context clues that's been given to us through Bray Wyatt's segments, a return from The Fiend seems highly unlikely for several reasons. Uncle Howdy did say that Bray Wyatt fully sent The Fiend away sometime after the events of WrestleMania 37. Bray Wyatt fully dismissed him and no longer wanted The Fiend's services. So that was the storyline explanation to why The Fiend is no longer around in Bray's story. Another reason why we won't see The Fiend's return is because Bray Wyatt has closed that chapter and era of his career. Bray Wyatt's character has evolved several times throughout his career, and it's extremely rare for anything to carry over with him onto that next era. So now that Bray Wyatt is coming back after missing more than a year in WWE, it's a whole new era and moment for him. He's reinvented himself with his new inner conflict and with new characters such as Uncle Howdy. So The Fiend, the Firefly Funhouse, and everything else that came before it is all ancient history. Sure, everything that's happened to Bray Wyatt so far up until this point is still important to the overall story, but it doesn't make sense to revisit any of those things and bring them back. So it would be weird to have The Fiend actually come back to WWE television since that story was closed. We know that Howdy still wants Bray Wyatt to wear a mask, and that will probably still happen, but it's likely to be the new mask that Bray wore at Extreme Rules. If Bray is going to wrestle with a mask and an alter ego again, it'll most likely be with the Uncle Howdy mask. Now, Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy have proved to everyone that they are two separate individuals. But what if Bray Wyatt still has another alter ego up his sleeve? Everyone knows that WWE filed for the trademark rights to Uncle Harper, but we're yet to see that character. So what if Uncle Harper is another character? What if Uncle Harper is Bray Wyatt's new alter ego? What if Bray Wyatt becomes Uncle Harper when he has the mask on? That's still a possibility as of this current moment. It's bizarre that we saw Bray Wyatt make his entrance at Extreme Rules with the mask on, but he took the mask off moments later and hasn't even been close to that mask ever since. So it looks like they're distracting Bray Wyatt from the new mask because it's going to be a big story moment when Bray finally puts the mask back on. When he puts that mask on, he's probably going to get possessed, morph into the Harper character, and it's going to serve as his new monster, his new Fiend. So no, technically the Fiend is not returning, but the old Bray Wyatt with his wicked ways appears to be returning. So pair up the old Bray Wyatt ways with the new mask and new alter ego, and that's setting up a pretty intriguing character. Rey Mysterio and Dominik Mysterio's story came to an end when they were put on separate brands. Rey couldn't take it anymore and requested to trade brands, and nearly even quit WWE because of Dominik's situation. But there's been rumors that WWE will revisit Dominik versus Rey in the near future. WWE has been keeping this story going in unique ways outside of the ring. You had the viral clip they posted of Dominik and Rhea breaking into Rey's house for Thanksgiving and attacking him. The clip was absolutely great and was a big hit with the fans. So WWE did it again and had Dominik and Rhea visit Rey Mysterio's house, this time for Christmas. However, Dominik and Rhea weren't able to do as much damage as before because the police arrived on the scene and arrested Dominik instantly. But Rhea Ripley did bail him out the next day. So it's a very unique way that they're keeping the story going outside of the ring, and the fans are absolutely loving all these little segments as well. We'll have to wait and see if those moments will carry over to WWE television when Rey Mysterio and Dominik Mysterio eventually clash in the ring. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.